So I have what is, in my opinion, the coolest deck list in Lorcana at the moment. As you can see from the name, Shadow Rush, you can't get cooler than that. But the reason I'm making this video and this deck is because ever since I saw Peter Pan Shadow, I thought, what a cool card, amazing artwork, and I think it does have some potential. So meet my deck list, which is Ruby Amethyst, of course, utilizing Rush characters with Peter Pan Shadow, but it also has an inherently strong draw engine, and being with Ruby, you naturally have a lot of removal. So surprisingly, this deck was somewhat competitive, and we're going to go over some matches in just a moment. Check the timestamps for that if you're interested, but let's quickly try to get through the deck list. So to start off, you're playing 4 Minnie Mouse as your only 1-drop, and the only reason for this is because it's a card that you can combo with Teeth and Ambitions. Your Minnie Mouse will take 2, it'll survive, you can Teeth away something on the field that's an early game threat, like a Flynn Rider or something along those lines. Your 2-drop package, Mim Snake, 4 Mother Gothels, and 4 Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts is your early game rush card that also can get evasive with Peter Pan Shadow, but Mother Gothel combos extremely well with Dinner Bell, which is one of the main draw packages in this deck. It's an instant draw 3 when you get that combo off, and it happens a lot often, more often than you would think. Moving on to the 3-drop slot, we've got 4 Madam Mim Fox, the best Amethyst card in the game right now, maybe. Amazing value for its cost, has a lot of utility, rush, and it will get evasive as well if Peter Pan Shadow is on the field. Being able to cycle back endgame threats, being able to cycle back damaged cards if you need to recast them. Madam Mim Fox it's insane, and that's also the reason why you play Snake. 4 Maleficent, because it's inkable, it's, you know, from set 1, replace itself, good card draw, body on board, you can recycle it, etc. Why not play 4? 3 Shere Khan, ideally I'd want to play 4, but I just don't think you want to focus on this as your main win condition. It's nice to slap down on the field when you're able to rush down a couple of characters and gain an extra 2 to 3 lore in the turn and clear out your opponent's board, but overall I think that this card is still underwhelming, but I'm trying to make it work, and I think this build might be one of the better builds to use it in. In our 4-drop slot, we've got 3 different cards, 4 of the Goat, 4 of the Peter Pan Shadow, the hero of the deck, and 2 Zeus. Zeus would be at 4 if it was inkable, but with Peter Pan Shadow and Zeus, if you have this combination of cards on the field, your Zeus is a 4 for 4/4 when it challenges, obviously, and then it has evasive. So even if it's exerted, your opponents won't be able to challenge it unless they also have an evasive character. So it's great protection for Zeus, and then Zeus can just quest for 2. So it's a big body that quests for 2, and is usually going to be well protected. Again, if it was inkable, it would be a 4 in the deck, but I like this combination. You may be thinking to yourself, why not Merlin Rabbit? And it's just not needed. Again, the card draw in this deck is insane, in my opinion, and you'll see that once we get to the matches. But it's just not needed, and I don't need more uninkables. As you can see on the screen here, I'm at 16 already. And you know, the Maleficent is all I need for card draw in combination with the Dinner Bell, Mother Gothels, the other cards that are getting damaged, and you know, Friends on the Other Side, things like that. So. And then again, leading into the 5-drop package, more card draw in the Queen of Hearts. This is a nice shift target for the 2-drop Queen of Hearts, and you challenge a lot, so you'll be banishing characters, and this card has a lot of utility. If you want to try to play 4 of it in the deck, more power to you. I thought 2 was a decent ratio. I saw it, and when I did see it, I was going off with it drawn cards. 4 Maui, nothing needs to be said here. Maui's already a powerhouse. Slap evasive on him when you have Peter Pan Shadow on field, and he's just insane, beyond insane, right? Then you move to Ruby's kind of standard at this point endgame package, where you're just focusing on removal. So you got your Lady Tremaine at 2, your Scar at 2, which also has rush, so it will gain evasive if Shadow is on the field, and Maleficent at 3. Again, package of cards that you can recycle with the Mim cards if you want. Very, very powerful stuff. 3 Teeth and Ambitions, 4 Friends on the Other Side, and 4 Be Prepared. So a lot of very powerful songs as well. Then again, some of you might be thinking, why not 4 Maleficent? It's so good. Why not 4 Teeth and Ambitions? Well, it's just the space. I'm already at 62 cards. There's a lot of good cards you want to play. And unless you really want to cut the Shere Khan, which is the only card I think I would cut here, I wouldn't really up those to 4. 3 should be enough, because again, with you playing a decent low drop package with the Queen of Hearts that has rush, the Madam Mim Fox that has rush, you should be able to deal with early game threats without needing to Teeth too often. And so the deck, I think, is pretty well balanced, and in testing it seemed to work. But again, let me know in the comment section below what you would like to do if you've tested this out. And then of course, Dinner Bell. I would like to up this to 3, because it synergizes so incredibly well with the deck. Not only do you get just an instant draw 3 off Mother Gothel, but think about it, all your characters that have rush is sitting there with evasive, most likely with the Shadow on field, so your opponent can't touch them. So you drop a Maui, you take out a threat, maybe you have 2, 3, 4 damage on the Maui, you Dinner Bell it away next turn because your opponent can't hit it because it has evasive, and you just gain. And like, Maui goes, what, instead of 2 for 1, like 4 for 1, like, it's insane. So yeah, Dinner Bell, absolutely crazy in this deck. I could go on for a couple couple minutes on stories with Dinner Bell when it first came out. I thought it was an amazing card, but I won't right now. But that's going to be the deck list. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and take a look at some matches. So in this first match, this is actually the second match I played with the deck, and my opening hand was insanely bad. So I put back every uninkable except for the Dinner Bell, because I only played 2 of it in the deck. It is the card that I would like to see earlier rather than later, so it's not too bad. And you're going to see just how insane this deck gets. So we start off by inking a goat. The way that you want to play this deck, I think, is like your Merlin cards aren't really that necessary. You maybe just want to keep 1 or 2 goats around if possible, but the rest could be ink if you don't have anything better to ink. Sometimes you want to play your Minnie Mouse, sometimes you don't. In this instance, because I went second, I saw the opponent play a Pascal. I had Minnie Mouse and Teeth. I'm like, yep, I can easily deal with the opponent's aggro board, and they are on one of the most aggro decks in the format in Emerald Amethyst. The other major aggro deck is Amber Amethyst, and this deck, in my opinion, from what I tested, absolutely destroys aggro. And it's aggro enough that, and has enough card draw that it could actually maybe compete with Ruby Sapphire. I haven't tested that matchup yet. I've only played 2 with this deck, and it's been good so far. But here you see on turn 2, I drop the, or sorry, turn 3, I dropped the Mother Gothel here because I used turn 2 to out the opponent's board. And the opponent still has tempo, but them dropping this Donald Duck is very interesting. And I'm like, okay, Emerald Amethyst has decent card draw, and you're going to just keep your hand healthy. But I'm going to be able to drop the Evasive Peter Pan and deal with the opponent's Maleficent, which is nice because that means no friends on the other side. If they want to sing it, they have to sing it with Donald, which means they won't get the quest for 2. They reveal that they're willing to drop their goat, and then they quest for 2 with Donald, ink a Flynn Rider, and pass. So the opponent still is maintaining tempo, and I would categorize this deck as like a mid-range control deck that somehow is still aggro but can also deal with aggro. It's very weird, but like in my mind it's still a casual deck. I don't know, let me know what you think below. Is this deck actually half decent? I don't know, I built it for fun, right? Because I said Peter Pan Shadow was so cool. Anyways, in this instance, yeah, the opponent is just going to continue to play the Merlin cards. Obviously getting the Maui here with the Shadow is an ideal setup because we're just cleaning house here at this point. The opponent quests with Goat. They're building up a decent sized board, and they've got, you know, the Goat and the Rabbit on field, which means they're going to get extra effects off when those leave the field, but that's totally fine. I'm going to end up questing with the Mother Gothel, and I have to crash my Reckless Maui, but that's totally fine. I get rid of the Goat, and then I'm going to drop Dinner Bell, and because I'm on 6 ink, Dinner Bell is 4, to use it is 2. I'm going to banish the Mother Gothel and draw 3. My exerted Peter Pan Shadow is safe because it has evasive, and the opponent is going to be able to quest up to 10 here, but that's totally fine. The opponent clearly overextends here, and I'm like, that's perfectly fine because I have a Be Prepared. And yes, not being able to sing Be Prepared in this instance kind of sucks because I don't get to end my board on a threat, but it's totally fine because I have a Maleficent Dragon coming up. I have another Mother Gothel that I can play and use Dinner Bell on for an instant draw 3. The opponent, unfortunately, goes wide again, and this setup looks good for them, right? They're aggro. They have to commit to the board. They're not misplaying or playing badly or anything. They just don't anticipate I have the second Be Prepared. So I completely wipe them out. Who would have guessed Emerald Amethyst in top deck mode, and the Ruby Amethyst weirdo Dinner Bell deck is actually doing work here. Another draw 3 off the Dinner Bell from the Mother Gothel. We drop yet another Peter Pan Shadow. This is going to quest for 2. Whatever they drop, we have the Maleficent Dragon for. Don't even want to use Maleficent Dragon on an Enchantress, but I have a Teeth and Ambitions that I could use as well. Friends on the other side draws into yet another Mother Gothel, which is just another instant draw 3 off Dinner Bell. It is absolutely insane. So yeah, we're just going to drop the Mother Gothel and Dinner Bell it away again. Ink the Minnie Mouse, because at this point Minnie Mouse doesn't have too much value, and even the 2 damage we put on our Peter Pan Shadow with the Teeth and Ambitions, we could bounce the Shadow back to hand if we want that damage off of it. We could Dinner Bell it away to draw 2. There's just so much synergy. Now we're going to go ahead and drop the Maleficent Dragon, and anything the opponent plays at this point in this top deck mode, you know that Ruby's going to deal with it. We probably have a Lady Tremaine coming up. We have yet another Mother Gothel. It is, yeah, the aggro decks can't deal with this because they don't have pinging removal. They're not steel. So this game is already over, and you can just see the advantage here. Not much else to say. I mean, there's like a lot of different combos that I could pull off here, but I think I'm just gonna end the game as quickly as possible here. So we quest with everything. We're gonna Dinner Bell away the Mother Gothel. So again, just absolutely insane. Draw another 3. There's the Lady Tremaine. Not that we need to use it. Drop the Shere Khan. Drop the Fox to recycle the Maleficent Dragon. Like, oh my, use Friends on the other side. Just hard cast it. Have like infinite cards in hand. Yeah, I mean, you know, I have game on board and I have like a million different things I can do. What else is there to say? So yeah, not a bad deck in my second match, and we're gonna look at my first match that I played with this deck right after this one. So we're gonna wrap this one up and move on to the next match. So you guys can see why Merlin Rabbit isn't really needed and why add to the uninkable count. You know, just keep it efficient. This opponent reveals that they are on Emerald Steel, so this matchup might give us a little bit of trouble because the steel cards pinging off our Mother Gothels and things like that would be a little problematic. They ink a Smash, which indicates to me they have another Smash in hand, because that's usually a card you want to keep unless you really don't have any uninkables. And they're on clearly like a pinging damage deck, maybe playing Beast Relentless, the Ship Cheshire Cat, the deck that basically I already showcased a while ago. And this is a pretty strong deck, and especially when they go first, you can see that they're just outing my threats, and it's really, really bad. They inked a Benja in the beginning, but they probably have 4 in the deck, so they probably have access to 3 more, and that means my Dinner Bell is very susceptible as well. So they just have like good counters for my deck. How are we going to try to play out of this? Interestingly enough, they're playing Namari, which I think is pretty cool, but the reason why Namari isn't the best is because it straight up just dies to Fox, as well as in this instance something that nobody is ever going to expect in the Zeus we're about to drop here and clear it out. Now unfortunately we don't have the Shadow on field, which would make Zeus totally protected from the opponent. Well, not totally, because they could ping 1 damage on it with the Robin Hood, but they can't finish it off, which would make all the difference here. Because again, with Zeus sitting on board on turn 6, I could, you know, with the 3 damage on it, not even bother to challenge. I could just quest with it for 2 and then Dinner Bell it away, play Dinner Bell, activate Dinner Bell if I had the Shadow on board protecting it with Evasive. But yeah, the opponent goes a little bit wide on their board here. They've got a Queen that pinged 1 damage and then finished off my Zeus. And at this point, I'm like, top deck Maui is pretty good here. And so again, just the deck is just doing Ruby things and Amethyst things, just in a, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's weirdly effective, and you wouldn't think it would be because it's like a casual deck, but Peter Pan Shadow may have some hidden potential. In this instance, I want to prevent my opponent from kind of running away with the lore a little bit, so I'm gonna opt to get that Queen off field because it does quest for 2, and I'm like, my Maleficent here doesn't really do anything. Even if I top deck a Friends, I can always sing it with the Maui, but I'm essentially forcing my opponent now to deal with this Maui. And yeah, it goes 3 for 1. It wasted a Fire the Cannons, it took out a threat, and it took out their Flynn Rider. And look at the board state now. And this is the problem that you might run into if you face up against Maui. Like, you need an effective way to remove it, and clearly this opponent didn't have it. So I have to be very careful of how I want to play here. So I just play Dinner Bell and pass, because there's no sense in me dropping the Mother Gothel, because I don't have the other 2 ink in order to activate the Dinner Bell to banish it and draw 3. If the opponent has the Benja, I just lose the Dinner Bell and I lose my card draw. But now I can drop the Mother Gothel and draw 3 off of it. Absolutely crazy. And obviously, the reason I didn't play Mother Gothel is because Robin Hood would just ping it for 1 damage and kill it. But yeah, the draw 3 is insane. We're going to go ahead and drop the Shere Khan to prepare ourselves for dropping those Rust threats next turn to challenge. The opponent is going to be able to take it out though with Let the Storm Rage on and likely ping it with Robin Hood, and they just got all the answers. They're going to Benja away the Dinner Bell, unfortunately, and take out the Shere Khan. But it is now 6 lore to 1. We've kind of stabilized, even though it doesn't really look like it, but we really have here. I'm thinking about what the best play to do is, and I don't think I should drop Queen here. If I do, it's a misplay. I definitely should just drop Maui and take out. Okay, yeah, okay, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. The reason is because dropping Maui here would take out the Robin Hood. They'd quest with the Benja for sure, and then I could drop the Queen next turn to draw 1 off of the Maui challenging the Benja, because I don't think they'd have a threat to remove the Maui with as much toughness as it has. But with Queen at 3, they could have another Smash, they could have a Fire the Cannons to combo with the Robin Hood, so that's why Queen is vulnerable, because it only has 3 toughness. In the end, it worked out for me because Queen and Maui ended up drawing me cards. So again, you just see the alternative card draw engine if your Dinner Bell does get outed. It's just really strong. The opponent ends up just resigning after they see their top deck. And yeah, those are my 2 matches with the deck. So surprisingly effective to start off with. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I think this deck is really cool. Test it out in Pixelborn in the lab, see if you can do some work with it. But yeah, if you like this video, please drop a like. These videos do take a while to edit, so I do appreciate the views and the likes if you could drop them. And again, the comments, I like interacting with you guys. I do try to respond to the comments, all of them that you guys leave, especially if you have questions or something like that. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. Thank you again for watching. If you've made it this far, Quantum is out.